I think the important thing that's come out of Dagan's mouth numerous times right now was team. And that's what sports are. And historically, sports have united nations, especially in divisive times. And right now, what we're seeing, it's doing the opposite right now for this country. I'm afraid our political woes may worsen if this continues. So I think the coaches have banded together with their players, and the teammates are uniting to get over this situation that unfortunately we've been put in. We've seen it impact ratings from sports networks. I mean, I was in Lambeau Field this weekend, and nobody wanted to talk about this. Everybody wanted to focus on sports because it's a uniting factor. So it was really kind of weighing a little bit on the sentiment, but no one was really trying to address or talk about it.
Just really quickly, in terms of the ratings, the Sunday night football game was between the Raiders and my Washington Redskins, was the lowest for week 3 of that game since 2006. From a year ago for that game, the ratings were down 11%, and last year the NFL ratings overall were off by 8%. So this is not helping.
No, it's definitely not. I don't know if you guys saw LeBron James's interview yesterday, which I thought was really on point, and he weighed in about the Steph Curry thing over the weekend as well, because President Trump disinvited Steph Curry.
But he was so political during the campaign. He was all in.
Well, he was all with Hillary, but his point, he made the same point that Kevin's making here about sports being a unifying, positive force for good, and that it can be, and talked about his work in Akron. Obviously, this is someone who's given back tremendously to an inner city where he's from. I think that's worthwhile. And Bob Costas also, I thought, spoke really eloquently on this issue, and even called out Colin Kaepernick as maybe an imperfect messenger, which I think is something that on the left, people are unwilling to do, and I think that they should start talking about messaging issues with it, because it's getting too complicated. Colin Kaepernick came out and he said that he was taking the knee to protest, social and racial inequality in our country, but then there are a few statements that he's made that just sound militant, and they sound like they actually could be disrespecting the flag.
Let's be clear.
And I think we should be honest about that.
Let's be clear about Sunday. And Jack Brewer said this yesterday. Those players taking a knee on Sunday, it was roughly 200 of them. That was an anti-Trump message.
They don't like to be called SOBs.
That was in reaction.
They don't want to be called an SOB.
Right. So that's not.
But don't you think also that it was not only anti-Trump, and I understand that, and fighting back against being called a horrible name that they should never have been called, certainly by a sitting president, but also to the point of unity and team, and saying there are some people on this team who have been taking a knee. There are some people who feel this in their lives, and we want to all stand together, united in supporting one another, which is what team is about.
Well, I want to point out Ben Roethlisberger. When the Steelers chose to stay off the field during the anthem, Villanueva being the only one who stood out there, they were in the tunnel. Ben Roethlisberger came out yesterday and basically said he did not feel like that the anthem was the place for protest, that he regrets their decision to stay off the field during the anthem. And that's where we come in. We believe in the First Amendment across the country, but we find it disgraceful when you don't stand for the anthem and put your hand over your heart.
But we've acknowledged right from the get-go that these players have this right. And now the reason that everyone is doing this is because they're pushing back against the president and their freedom of speech rights. And
isn't that his fault for inserting himself into this?
I don't think the president understood how big this was about to get. I mean, he was at a campaign rally in Alabama, trying to rally up the crowd. He was not seeing how bad this was about to get.
I think SOBs, I don't know how that even comes out of your mouth.
I agree. It was a terrible comment.
But people feel the way that he does about respecting those who served and respecting those who lost their lives or sacrificed their lives for that very freedom, and that means standing during the anthem and putting your hand over your heart.
And his base and our viewers are with him 100%. That they need to stand and they need to respect the flag. But the other thing is, I don't know that everybody wants him talking about this when you've got North Korea coming at you and healthcare and taxes. So we're going to get into that next. Coming up.